How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for the time to coming out and having an interview. You've got
Thank you
such a
for
cool
having me.
name, by the way. Is that your like actual name, or is it like a stage name?
So it's my actual name. It's the Irish version of my name. Um,
Okay,
and yeah, so the Irish version, so the English version would be Kevin, but the Irish version is Kaovin.
okay.
So I just use it as a stage name, but I spell it differently than the Irish version
Yeah.
because we don't have a letter V in the Irish language. We use MH. So I just kind of mix the English and the Irish together.
What is it like living in Ireland, being Irish? What is life like?
Oh, it's gorgeous. Ireland's an absolute lovely, lovely place. I'm so proud to be Irish. I'm so proud of my Celtic heritage.
Yeah.
I'm 100% through and through Celtic, and it's lovely. It's lovely. It's a really nice place to live. We're really lucky here.
Good, good, good. So, can you explain to the listeners what type of music release, like what type of music genre are you in? What type of music do you
Yes.
release?
Yeah, so mainly I suppose it would be popular music or pop music. I'm a pop music student right now. I'm in university doing a Bachelor of Arts in Popular Music,
Okay.
and popular music is kind of it's mainly what you hear on the radio, but it's a lot more than that. It's all kind of disco, alt, indie. There's a lot that goes under the popular music umbrella,
Hmm.
and my type of music, I guess, I'm at the very beginning of my career, so I'm kind of trying to find my little niche where I belong. But so far, I've dipped into kind of dance music with my first release, Warrior. My latest one, Vodka Coke and Blues, is more of kind of, I guess it's an alt kind of an indie pop kind of a song. Um, and I have some more stuff that's in the works that's kind of more again more uh more kind of, I suppose, dance pop and more kind of almost folksy rap kind of. There's a lot going on. So I'm kind of in between. I'm trying to find my space, and I'm having a lot of fun just kind of dipping in and out.
Yeah, just kind of experimenting with what kind of works
Yeah,
for you, and then maybe in the next few years you'll start to find exactly what kind of music you want to release. I think
yeah,
it's
yeah,
great that you've kind of experimented and starting to think about like what kind of genre does my voice like suit to, and what
exactly,
you type of music you want to release. And where
exactly.
where where did you find the inspiration for starting music? When did you was like, okay, you know what, I want to get into music.
So that happened. I've always been into music, but I didn't know it. If that makes sense,
Yeah.
when you're younger, you're into lots of stuff, and you don't really kind of think that this is my thing. So I kind of arrived to like the conclusion that music was what I wanted to do fairly late. I was about 16, which in music, everyone's been playing piano since they were 4, and everyone's been doing this since they were.
Yeah.
So I kind of arrived to my conclusion when I was about 16, and I started to write music as a way of just kind of a way of self-expression. I was a very kind of a quiet, you know, quote unquote troubled teen, like every teen.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to kind of express myself. So I just started to write, and it was so cathartic. It was so therapeutic to me. I was just like, I'm really enjoying this, but also I'm getting my point across. And this is really, really nice. And then I started to actually take it serious. I started to study music theory, and um, I did some courses in music when I was 19.
Hmm.
And the more I got into it, the more I just fell in love with it. I just completely fell head over heels in love with like the creativity and the expression, and the fact that you don't have to stay in one box. You don't have to like you can, like I'm a big fan of like Lady Gaga and David Bowie and stuff, and seeing them like reinvent themselves and kind of dip in and out of different genres, I was just I was like, a whole new world has been opened up, and I'm just completely obsessed with the fact that you don't have to conform into one little kind of, squish into one little shape.
I mean,
so
Lady Gaga is just like, as you said, is like a prime example of dipping into different things. Like she's done her dance music, like now it's like she's done her kind of musical theatre like kind of era, and then now she's come out with new music and she's in another era, and she's just like such like an inspiration and just like an icon for just doing different things and not being in the same and doing the same thing all the way through.
Exactly, and like she is a huge inspiration of mine, Lady Gaga. She is. I have like tattoos of her name on me. She's such a huge deal to me, and she is one of the reasons why I kind of was like, if she can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, I set the bar super extremely beyond high. I was like, if Gaga can do it, I can do it.
Yeah,
and it was just her story and her kind of her music and her stories and all this kind of stuff was one of the reasons why I was just so kind of I feel like if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have even got into music. I feel like I would have maybe, I don't know, branched off into something else. I feel like I wouldn't be where I am right now. And I really like where I am right now.
Yeah.
And I'm really thankful for her that like she kind of steered me in the right direction without even ever having met her.
Yeah.
So, it's a good example of what music can do. Like it can touch people who you've never even met.
Yes, yeah. So you were saying just before, you just released your new song, Vodka, Coke and Blues. Can you just explain to the listeners what the song is about? How did you find inspiration for the song? And, how did you come up with that song title?
Yes, so Vodka, Coke and Blues it's a song about, it's kind of dark lyrically and like maybe even sonically. It's a lot darker than my first song. It's about loneliness first and foremost. It's about the loneliness that I experience. I'm a chronically lonely person. I struggle a lot with loneliness. I always have, and that's not to say that I don't have support and I don't have love and I'm very, very lucky with who I have and what I have in my life, but it's just a part of who I am. I'm just a chronically lonely person, and I feel like it got a lot worse after the pandemic for a lot of people, not just for me. Like, we had that whole stay-at-home lockdowns and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was something that got worse and worse, and I started to rely a lot on, since my early adult years, relying on alcohol and other people in order to make me feel happy, to help me deal with things that I couldn't deal with myself. And Vodka, Coke and Blues is kind of really just all about that story and the search for affection, but settling for, like, there's a lyric in it, searching for affection, some attention though will do.
Yeah.
And that really kind of sums it up. It's about like looking for affection but settling for any bit of attention, really, just so I can feel whole, just for an hour, for a couple of hours, for a night, and just relying on people and alcohol to help kind of curb the loneliness, but still feeling that loneliness that you still have inside, because a quick fix is not a fix.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's not a solution for a long-term problem. So I started to write it actually about maybe 8 years ago. I had a particularly heavy night with, like, my friends and stuff. Like, we all have heavy nights.
Yeah.
And I, again, it's a tale as old as time. I was lonely, was looking for somebody, anybody will do. Thought I had it, didn't, made a fool of myself, went back. The cycle repeats. I started. It's a tragic it's a tragic tale.
Yeah.
And I had like a night like that, and I just started to kind of write this song. I came up with a few lines of it, and then I put it to rest because I wasn't comfortable with it. I didn't, I was like, I don't need to delve into this. I'm fine. I'm in my early 20s. Who cares? And we all know that when you push something down, it will go down for a tiny bit, but it's going to come back up. It doesn't matter. What goes up must come down. What goes down must come up.
Yeah.
And it kind of started to resurface, like I said, after the pandemic, with the whole kind of, loneliness that kind of got quite bad again after COVID.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of the price you pay for protecting other people, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's something that a lot of us, I know, the UK and Ireland both had it really tough with COVID.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people. Loneliness now is another epidemic that's come off the back of the pandemic. So, sorry, that was a very long-winded answer.
No, that is absolutely great, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to that in their own different circumstances, whatever they've got going on in their lives. And I feel like a lot of music now, like especially the lyrics, and I was listening to your song and I could just really kind of connect and understand the emotion and everything that you've put into that song. And I really, really enjoyed listening to it. So you were saying about Lady Gaga earlier. So I'm going to ask you a question now. You can't say Lady Gaga, but if you were to collaborate with 3 artists, who would you pick and why?
Oh, that's a hard question. One would definitely be Lana Del Rey. Definitely. She's probably my second in command after Gaga. Because oh my gosh, she's such an amazing storyteller. She is such an amazing storyteller. She's absolutely stunning. Number 2 would be Alanis Morissette. She is another huge, she's an absolutely stunning storyteller. She has songs that I feel like when I listen to them, I feel like I wrote them. I feel like I'm like, holy, like she's singing about me. This is my story. I just identify with her so much. And number 3, oh my god, this is really, really hard. Oh god. Okay, number 3 would probably be just one of the fun artists, I suppose, Charlie XCX. She's having like a huge moment this year. And if anything, now she's an amazing storyteller too, but god, she's such a good producer. She is absolutely amazing at what she does. And yeah, I'd collaborate with her just because she's so fun.
Like she's just everything that's happened with the album and just the tour and everything. Like she's just gone from strength.
She's living the dream.
She is living the dream, literally living the dream. So, what does the next kind of few years looking like for you? What are we expecting over the next couple of years?
I guess you can expect a lot more music. I've gotten the bug now. I've been bitten by the little music releasing bug, and I don't think I'm ever going to stop releasing music. I'm hopefully going to get my degree. That's a huge thing that I want to do. It's more so a personal goal than anything, but get my piece of paper and release. I have an EP coming out. It's going to be after Christmas. So I guess in the near future, get my EP out, get my piece of paper, get a lot more stuff out, and just hopefully get to do this more, more often and more full time.
Yes, that's what we love to see. I cannot wait to hear what is all the stuff happening over the next 12 months, next 18 months. Now, last but not least, can you let everyone know where they can come and find your music, where they can follow you on Instagram and on social media?
Yes, of course. So you can follow me on everything at Kaovin. My username is is the same on everything. So it's Kaovin. And that's, you just put like the little at in front of it. And you can find me on Spotify, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter. I'm not going to call it X because who calls it X? I'm just going to still call it Twitter. And Apple Music, everywhere you can find music, I'm there.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking the time out to have an interview.
Thank you so much for giving me the interview. It was absolutely lovely.
See ya. Bye.
Bye bye.